Doug King is a criminology professor at Mount Royal University in Calgary. Doug, good morning to you.
Morning.
No note, no explanation left behind. Where do investigators go to try to explain why this happened?
I think that's a really important question to address. So the police will not make speculation as to motive if they don't have some kind of physical or some kind of evidence to it. They'll leave that to the crime profilers and the forensic psychologists to speculate on what could have driven this particular individual to do this. So they'll be looking now. They're pretty much will likely be done at the physical crime scenes now. They'll be withdrawing officers from those scenes and from the community eventually. But they'll be still digging into social media posts and social media fingerprints to try and figure out if there's any kind of evidence that they could lead to some kind of concrete notion of what happened and why it happened.
Doug, you mentioned speculation. I'm going to go a step further than that and talk about some of the mis and disinformation that is circulating out there. And many people will have seen it. There's this X account that turns out is fake, is not connected to the shooter, but purports to be. There's all sorts of other bits of information out there. How will police verify what is real, and there is some real stuff in a digital footprint, against what is not?
Yeah, they'll start with the perpetrator's electronic devices and accounts and those kinds of things. So they'll have access to, if the individual had a phone, if it was password protected, they'll be trying to open it up. They'll be looking for any kind of electronic devices that could have been accessed at her home, and that's the way to go. They'll go from what they know the individual actually accessed and move out from there, because you're absolutely right. The social media now is flooded with people who think they know what happened, people who are saying they were actually the perpetrator. Just give you an indication of that. I walked into a class at 8:30 Calgary time on Wednesday morning, and I was speaking to the class. And all of a sudden, students were showing me social media posts that purported to be related to the situation, and many of them were factually wrong.
Yeah, there was, for instance, and maybe this is what you're referring to, there was an image widely circulating of an individual said to be the shooter. It wasn't. It is of a different person, a real person, and so there's real challenges there. I want to ask you, if I can, about firearms in particular. We have learned from the RCMP that firearms that were in that house, potentially the firearms used in this shooting, had been seized by officers and then returned at some point before the shooting to that home.
Right.
Surely that will be reviewed.
It will have to be reviewed. Under the legislative laws in Canada, a minor being age 12 and 17 can secure a minor's license for firearms use, but it's very limited use, and it's restricted, and the firearms access is restricted to what we call unrestricted firearms. Mm-hmm. They have to be under the supervision of an adult. They can't own the weapons themselves, and they can use it for hunting and for target practice at ranges and things like that. People can get a prohibition order that will have the police go in and seize the firearms licenses and the weapons. It's a prohibition order that lasts for 30 days. Mm-hmm. The judge can order a second hearing to extend the prohibition, but it sounds like in this case that there was no extension to that. So I think there's going to have to be some discussion about that. The challenge is going to be that all of those court documents are going to be confidential, and it will take some while to be able to get access to them.
Absolutely, and we do have a sense of the weapons that were used in this shooting, a rifle and a modified pistol, a handgun. I've only got a few seconds with you, Doug, but it would be my understanding that any kind of pistol would be restricted.
I think so. I think the question, we'll have to get some more information on what exactly the pistol was. Was it an air pistol?
Right.
Pellet pistol, or was it actually a pistol that fired bullets and things like that? So I think there's still some stuff we need to know.
Lots and lots of questions, and still waiting for answers, and we'll wait for factual answers, of course, Doug. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is Doug King in Calgary.